I'm going to sit down and tell you something that happened to me about 4 years ago. Every Thanksgiving since then, I get this knot in my stomach that won't go away. Back then, I was living in this rental house outside Albuquerque with my girlfriend Emma. We'd been together about 2 years. The place was decent, one of those cookie-cutter developments where every house looks basically the same. Beige stucco, small yard, you know the type. Emma's family lived in Oregon, and mine was scattered all over, so we decided we'd just do our own quiet Thanksgiving at home. No traveling, no airport stress, just the two of us. We went to the grocery store on Tuesday, got a small turkey, all the fixings, grabbed a couple bottles of wine, the whole domestic thing. Wednesday night, we're both in the kitchen prepping stuff for the next day. I'm peeling potatoes. Emma's making this cranberry sauce her mom used to make. We're drinking wine, listening to music, having a good time. Around 9 o'clock, the doorbell rings. I wipe my hands off and go answer it. There's this woman standing on our porch. She's probably in her 50s, wearing this purple fleece jacket, and she's got this really apologetic smile on her face. She introduces herself as Linda from 3 houses down, the one with the blue trim. She's completely out of aluminum foil, needs some for tomorrow when her son's family comes over. The whole thing seemed totally normal. I mean, we'd been in the neighborhood for almost a year, but we didn't really know our neighbors. We were both busy with work, kept to ourselves mostly. I told her no problem and went back to check. Emma pointed me to the roll under the sink. I brought it to the door, handed it over. Linda thanked me, said she'd replace it on Friday, wished us a wonderful Thanksgiving. I closed the door and went back to the kitchen. Didn't think anything of it. We finished our prep, watched some TV, went to bed. Thanksgiving morning, Emma was up early, getting the turkey ready. I slept in until about 9, came downstairs in my sweatpants. The house already smelled amazing. We had the parade on TV, just being lazy and happy. Around 10:30, the doorbell rang again. I looked through the peephole. Same woman from last night, Linda, standing there with a roll of aluminum foil in her hand. I opened the door and she asked if she could come in for just a second. Said she had a little thank you gift for us. Something about it felt slightly off, but I couldn't put my finger on what. She seemed nice enough. I stepped back and let her in. She came into the entryway and I closed the door behind her. I noticed she wasn't holding anything except the foil. No bag, no plate of cookies, nothing. Before I could say anything, she turned around fast. That friendly smile was just gone. Her whole face had changed. Her eyes were completely flat. She asked where my girlfriend was, and the way she said it made my blood run cold. I took a step back and told her she needed to leave. Right now. Linda didn't move. She just stood there, blocking the doorway to the living room. I called out for Emma, loud. My voice had an edge to it that made Emma come running from the kitchen. She stopped dead when she saw Linda standing there, asked me who this was. I told her it was the neighbor from last night, but I didn't take my eyes off Linda. I said, I think she needs to go. Linda tilted her head, looking at Emma like she was examining something in a store. She made this comment about how we had a really nice setup, how cozy and private it was, how nobody was around to hear much of anything. Emma's voice went tight. She told Linda to get out. Linda reached into her jacket pocket. She pulled out a small black revolver. She told us both to sit down on the couch and do exactly what she said. I felt like I'd been punched in the chest. This wasn't real. This couldn't be happening. We sat on the couch. My brain was screaming at me to do something, but the gun was right there, and my body wouldn't move. Linda stayed standing. She told us to give her our cell phones, slide them over. Mine was in my pocket. Emma's was on the coffee table. We both pushed them across the floor toward her. She explained we were going to wait for her partner to show up. Then they'd get started. I asked her what she meant by that, and my voice sounded like it belonged to someone else. Linda smiled then, that same friendly smile from the night before. She told us we had a nice house, lots of nice things. Said they'd been watching the neighborhood for a couple weeks. Thanksgiving was perfect because nobody was around. Everyone was with family. We were the only ones home on the whole street last night. Emma grabbed my hand. I could feel her shaking. I tried to bargain, told her to take whatever she wanted, the TV, laptop, cash upstairs. Take it all. We wouldn't call the cops. Linda said they were going to take it, but they needed to make sure we stayed calm while they worked. That's what the gun was for. I don't know how much time passed. Maybe 10 minutes, maybe 30. The turkey was in the oven, and I could smell it cooking. The parade was still playing on the TV, people cheering and laughing. Everything about it felt insane. Then the doorbell rang. Linda looked toward the door and said that would be her partner. She told us not to move, not to make a sound. She walked to the door, keeping the gun pointed at us, and opened it. But the person standing there wasn't her partner. It was a cop, a police officer in full uniform, young guy, probably late 20s, standing on our porch holding a cardboard box. He said he had a package that was delivered to the wrong address, asked if this was 247 Meadowbrook. Linda froze, just for a second. Then that smile came back. She reached for the box and thanked him, but the cop's eyes had moved past her. He was looking into the house, looking at me and Emma sitting rigid on the couch. I don't know if he saw the terror on our faces, or if he spotted the gun that Linda was trying to hide behind the door. But something changed in his expression. He asked if everything was all right in there, and his hand moved to his belt. Linda slammed the door and spun around, raising the gun toward us. The door crashed open. The cop had kicked it in, and he had his gun out. He yelled at her to drop the weapon. Everything happened fast after that. Linda dropped the gun and put her hands up. The cop called for backup. Within minutes, there were 3 more police cars in our driveway. Turns out Linda wasn't even her real name. It was Denise Crawford, and she had a whole string of warrants out for armed robbery. She and her boyfriend had been hitting houses in developments like ours for months, always during holidays when people were distracted or away. They'd watch neighborhoods, figure out who was home alone, who had nice stuff. The boyfriend got picked up an hour later at a gas station 2 miles away. Officer Ramirez told us later that the package thing was pure luck. Someone 3 houses down had ordered something that got delivered to us by mistake. He was just doing a good deed, dropping it off on his patrol. If he hadn't shown up right then, if Linda had had another 5 minutes before her partner arrived, I don't know what would have happened. The detectives told us later that in 2 of their previous robberies, the homeowners ended up in the hospital. We moved out of that house 2 months later. Couldn't stay there. Emma and I broke up about a year after that. We don't really talk about it, but I think we both just associated each other with that day. I haven't celebrated Thanksgiving properly since. Can't do it. Last year, I just ordered Chinese food and watched movies by myself. The whole holiday feels poisoned now. The piece that really messes with me is how normal it all seemed at first. Someone asking to borrow foil. That's such a small, neighborly thing. And I let her in the next day because she seemed nice, because it felt rude not to. I'm more careful now, way more careful. I don't answer the door unless I'm expecting someone. I don't trust friendly strangers. Maybe that makes me paranoid, but I don't care. That's my Thanksgiving story. Not ghosts, not some supernatural thing, just a woman with a gun and a smile, and the worst timing in the world for her.